Welcome to Fancounters. My name's Nick.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And you can follow us on Twitter at Fancounters Live. Our Facebook group is available by searching Sharpie Nation, and you can email us
At hello@fancounters.com.
Now, Elizabeth, a few weeks ago, I had the pleasure of traveling to Nashville, Tennessee. I went to an event called We Come Together for John Barry, who is my mom's favorite music artist of all time.
He is actually one of my favorites, and I did not know you were going until after I saw the Facebook pages.
Right, and I didn't tell anybody that I was going just because there's a lot of people in my life that maybe can't just on a whim take a trip. So I don't like to showboat or anything. So I just went. But I did post some amazing videos from the event on my Facebook page as it was happening because I really did get caught up in the moment. It was such a special night. So if you don't know, John Barry is a country music artist of the 90s. He recently had throat cancer where he underwent treatment, and he just finished his treatments. And you can imagine the medical bills are astonishing for that type of treatment, as well as other music artists who have medical treatments that can't afford all of the bills. So this Healthcare Alliance helps music artists with their medical bills, and so they threw a benefit for John Barry. Once I read the lineup, thanks to our friend Billy Dean, who posted it, I knew that we immediately had to go. So my mom and I went down, and it was a who's who of country music artists from the 90s.
Yes.
That was our era of being in radio.
And I was just to say, that is when you and I were at the peak of our radio career in specializing in promotions, where we were going out to meet these people. John Barry especially, I have fantastic memories of being on his bus when they were on tour and having just some great times with him. And then when I started to see the pictures that you posted on Facebook, it was like a walk down memory lane. I had to keep saying to you, is that so-and-so? Is that so-and-so? Because, you know, some of them didn't age, but then some of them are like, gosh, do I remember?
Some of them really did.
Yeah, do I remember? Is that the right person that I'm remembering? So I was thrilled that you went and that you posted some of those wonderful things, and a very special thanks to Billy Dean for putting it on his page so that we caught it.
I will try and post on our Twitter the picture of me and John Barry from that night, because he was very good about thanking everybody personally for coming to his event.
Yeah.
So it was a who's who. I mean, here's some of the artists that were there that performed: Tracy Lawrence, Trace Adkins, Vince Gill, Clint Black,
and of course my favorite.
Well, hold on,
okay,
because there was some special guests as well. My mom had just went to the bathroom, and Crook and Chase were up there. They're massive radio celebrities who have a syndicated show. And they're like, our next guest, came to us and wouldn't miss this event for anything. It's, going to be a shock to you all. We told you that there were surprises. And here it is, Mr. and Mrs. Yearwood. Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood came to this event. We were sitting like 4 people from the stage, and it was amazing. Like, I just could not believe Garth was there, and my mom was in the bathroom.
Oh, my gosh.
She's like, I heard him when I was trying to finish up, and I rushed out as fast as I could.
Oh, bless her heart. And, of course, he's saying Friends in Low Places, too, so it's very audience participatory.
Right, but he was a gentleman. He let Trisha sing first. And then he sang.
Yeah, and he's quite funny about her. I don't know if you ever watch the Southern Cooking with Trisha Yearwood. Yeah,
Is he on that sometimes?
Every once in a while. He doesn't come on very often, but it's so funny because she'll make mentions like, oh, Garth loves this food, or Garth loves that, or something like that. But every interview and everything that I have seen with him and her, he is so devoted to her and so in love with her that I'm sure he asked to be introduced as Mr. and Mrs. Yearwood because he would much rather stand and let her shine than make the mega man that he is.
Absolutely. So it was a great evening. We had a lot of fun, and I'm really thankful that I had the experience.
Yeah, super cool. I was very jealous.
It was a long drive there and a long drive back, but totally worth it. I mean, it was honestly the best concert of my life.
Oh, my God, you drove? You didn't even fly?
My mom was not going to pay $500 for one day of entertainment, not including, well, that probably would have included the ticket and everything. But, yeah, she was like, the only way I'll do it is if we drive. But that's okay because I haven't seen my mom since, like, September.
Yeah.
So we had a lot to catch up on. I think out of the 18 hours in a car, we probably had the radio on for 2 hours of it.
Okay.
I mean, we talked a lot. So
good.
It was good catching up. Billy Dean was supposed to be there. He texted me because I asked him, I said, "Are you here?" I said, "Can you come see me?" And he goes, "I have jury duty."
Oh, gosh.
He was stuck on jury duty. He didn't make it. But he's the reason I went because he told me about the show. So 72 shows ago, we did interview Grammy-nominated artist Billy Dean, who told us about a special young lady he was mentoring named Chloe Channell. This week on Fancounters, Chloe is our guest. Chloe's music career started when she was 7, performing at the Farmers Opry in Florida, where she developed a love for classic country music.
In 2013, she appeared on several episodes of NBC hit show America's Got Talent. And after conquering the stage at Radio City Music Hall, Chloe starred in a Kenny Rogers Christmas production called The Toy Shoppe alongside Billy Dean. And on her way home to Florida, she stopped by the Grand Ole Opry for a quick performance.
Earlier this year, she was a contestant on American Idol, but was quickly eliminated after the group round. Now, as the summer approaches, we're about to find out what the rest of 2019 has in store for her, and we'll find out when we can expect some new music and live shows.
Coming to you from nowhere near the entertainment capital of the world, this is Fancounters with Nick and Elizabeth on the PodFix network.
There was this mob of people, and they're screaming my name.
Crazy fans.
Stop following me. Don't come around my house. If you do, the cops are going to be at yours.
If I'm having dinner with my wife, don't sit down at my table. Don't follow me into the bathroom.
Can I take a picture? We're going to, oh my God.
I think this guy wants to fight me. Ended up being a fan.
I'm the only one that's ever been on Sam Jackson and lived to tell about it.
Well, guess what? I have a big surprise for you.
That's why we call it Fancounters.
I don't think you're going to last on the air very long.
Chloe Channell, welcome to Fancounters. Thanks so much for being here.
Oh, well, thank you for letting me come on.
You bet. Now, you have recently finished an amazing journey on American Idol, but it ended much too soon. But this wasn't actually your first nationally televised appearance, because back in 2013, you were featured on America's Got Talent. So you got to tell me this. How does an 11-year-old convince her parents to take her from Florida to New Orleans to audition for America's Got Talent in the first place?
Well, I'm very persuasive, but... You know, they actually called me and asked me to come do a private audition. Just like American Idol, I got to do a private audition there, too. And so I went to New Orleans to do that. And my parents have been supporting me since I was 6 when I started. So I knew that they would love for me to do it, and it was awesome.
Now, they must have seen you prior, like YouTube videos or something. How did they first find out about you?
Yes, they found me off of YouTube, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they did. And then I just got a call, and I remember because I lived in my old house when they called, and I was so excited. I started crying. I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Was the televised audition the one from New Orleans, or was it televised audition from a different round that we saw?
Well, I actually went to New Orleans for my producer, like the private audition, and then I went back to New Orleans for the judges audition, too. So I got to go to the same place.
Twice. Okay.
Yeah.
And during your televised audition, you belted out Carrie Underwood's All-American Girl and received praise from all of the judges, including Howard Stern, who at first didn't sound like he thought you were ready, but then sent you through. Were you expecting to go through, or did your parents prepare you for the possible outcome that you might not go?
I've been singing. I was already singing for a while, and I was always prepared for no's because music business, like, you're going to get that all the time. And I had a lot of people teach me that's how it is. It's how it's going to be. But my parents were really hopeful for me, and I just went out there and did my best. So I had no idea what was going to happen. I honestly didn't think I was going to get past because I never thought that high of myself as a singer, and I didn't know for sure if it was going to happen. But it was so cool that I actually made it through. But my parents did prepare me for what was going to happen, and in case I didn't get through. But I'm glad we didn't have to go through that, and I did.
Now, are you an only child?
No. I have 2 older brothers.
Okay, so obviously your parents are parenting, and are one of your parents your manager?
Well, actually, my dad has always been kind of like a manager to me. He always schedules my shows and tells me where I need to be and when. So, yeah, he's basically like my manager.
Okay.
Now, I went back and was rewatching some of your performances on television, and the audition that you did for America's Got Talent has been viewed well over 15 million times, which is just astronomical to think that many times your video's been seen. Isn't it? That's crazy.
No, I know. Like, you can't, like, fathom, like, 15 million people. Like, that is so many. And then, like, just it being on TV, too, like, all the people that are watching it, too, like, just, like, live, you know? It's insane. Like, I can't wrap my brain around it.
Now, I thought it was really funny because Heidi Klum, and I get that you don't know everything about the show that you're going to be on, but she goes and she asks, has a kid ever won America's Got Talent? It's like, yeah, lady, season 1.
Yeah, like,
you're a judge.
1, like the biggest thing ever.
She should know that. But even more surprising were the comments that you got following your performance of the band Perry's Done. I was really shocked because, I mean, you're 11, and the first thing that Howie Mandel points out is you had to breathe while singing. And then Howard Stern goes, oh, well, she was nervous. Like, were you surprised they were that critical of you? Because, I mean, you were so young.
Well, even though I was young, I'm actually really good at taking criticism because I had 2 older brothers. And I can deal with the harsh comments because I really do believe it makes me better. But when I heard that, I was a little embarrassed when I heard it at first because I knew I did it. And I don't know if you can tell, but I talk with my face. Like, you can tell things. And as soon as it happened, my face, like, on TV, like, just completely dropped. Mm-hmm. And I knew that they were going to say something about it. So I was ready to hear it, you know. But, I was a little upset. But, no, I took it pretty good. It didn't bug me that much.
Now, was that nerves or was it just a bad placement of a breath?
Well, of course I was nervous, but, like, with singers, especially, like, being able to breathe in a song, especially a song that was going so fast, and I was told to go to this camera and the next camera, and it was, like, a lot happening at once, and, like, my voice, like, my mouth will, like, fill up with, like saliva and stuff, and it sounds gross, but it's, like, what singers go through, you know, like, with our voices and stuff, and I was just on stage, and I swallowed and breathed. Like, it was a human thing I did. Like, I just had to breathe. So it was just something that happened. But I was nervous, of course, but I would never let my nerves get in the way of a performance. So. Okay.
And that's a lot to remember at 11 if they're giving you camera directions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little difficult. I remember, like, when I think about it, like, I was really nervous about that. I wasn't nervous about singing as much as I was about messing up and getting in trouble by the producers for not going to the right camera.
Now, you had several in-depth kind of get-to-know-you segments on America's Got Talent, and not every contestant gets those. How do they choose to spotlight you, even from your first audition?
I honestly have no idea. I think it's based on, like, what you bring to the table. And I guess because of what I said in my first audition, they wanted me to go on with that and see why and understand why at 11 and being a girl, why I would want something like I did.
A lot of people talk about really, like, sacred or special spots as far as a country singer are concerned, or any singer, actually. But you have played both the Grand Ole Opry and Radio City Music Hall. These 2 venues are huge and very, very iconic. Was anything about these experiences memorable to you or special in any way? Just besides that, obviously, you were there, but was there anything else that sticks out?
Well, they were both memorable. I mean, it was an honor to sing at Radio City Music Hall and, like, all this, like, it was just the coolest place ever to be. But the Grand Ole Opry was the most special to me because I've been dreaming of singing there because, like, as a country singer, or I want to be a good country singer, then that's where all the greats and the legends have played. And so the fact that I got to go there, especially with Billy, it was an honor. Like, I was crying because I was so happy to be there. And it was a dream that I've been dreaming of ever since I was 6 years old. Well,
you step on that hallowed stage and then that circle from the Ryman, and it's just, like, such an awesome, like, overwhelming kind of thing.
It was the coolest thing I've ever done.
We have both been there, Nick and I, and it's really quite an outstanding building, just in how it makes you feel.
Yes. I toured there, like, a lot. Like, I would go there and they'd give you, like, a little Grand Ole Opry tour, and I would go on it and I'd get to see everything. And then I actually got to sing there, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever.
That is cool.
We've been talking a lot about a show that you were on over 5 years ago, so we're going to catch up just a little bit. So in 2013, it was really funny because you showed a lot of interest in hunting deer and hunting big bucks. So are you still an avid hunter?
Yes, sir. Well, I actually I got my big buck after America's Got Talent,
Woohoo!
like the next year. and it was the coolest thing ever. But I still hunt today, but I get been really busy with school because I'm in high school now, and I get busy with music. But any chance I can go during hunting season, I go as much as I can.
Okay, but are you gutting the deer as well?
Oh.
No, I have to know because I would never touch that stuff, and I'm a guy. No way.
After America's Got Talent, I actually got a gun and a free gun that was wrapped in pink camouflage and a skinning knife. And so my grandpa taught me how to do it, but I usually just let the boys do that.
Yeah, that sounds like a boy job to me. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be sexist, but blecky. So give us an update on your room decor. Is there a deer head that's hanging on the wall that your grandma shot, or is it now the one that you shot?
Well, we took my grandma's one down, actually, but we put all of our deer heads in the garage now because my brothers and my parents, we all have had our good bucks that we've ever had. And so the ones that are the best, we'll just hang them up because I got my room redone when it was my birthday, 2 years ago. And so it's a lot different now. It's a lot girlier because it used to just be camouflage everywhere, but I've definitely became a little less tomboyish and now have style. So, but we keep our deer heads in our garage. So that's the first thing people will see when they come in because we usually always open the garage and let people go through there.
Oh, that's cute.
All right, so the big question, Chloe, have you listened to Fancounters before? You can be honest. It's okay.
Okay, actually, I never have, but I did hear about it because of Billy.
Okay. Well, Billy...
So I remember talking about it, but I've never actually heard it.
That's okay. We have some people on there you might really enjoy because we do a lot of kids from Disney and that kind of thing. But anyway, your manager and mentor, Billy Dean, was on the show. I think we said 72 episodes ago. It feels like forever.
It does.
But I wanted to play a clip from that show as to what he told us about you, and then I have a question. This is what Billy said on the show about you.
Chloe is the first one that I've wanted to mentor, and because it's her work ethic, it's her talent, her ability, her personality. She has all of these ingredients that I think that make up a star. She just has this it factor, I wanted to make Chloe or help her become a powerful businesswoman. She's got the potential to not only be a great artist, but to run her own show, run her own business. And I want her to not need anyone. I want her to be able to do it all, and she wants to do it all.
So those are pretty big words from a Grammy-nominated singer. And when someone, when someone like Billy talks so highly of you, what are you thinking when you're hearing them?
I'm even humbled to have him talk about me like that. He is such an amazing person and an awesome teacher, and I've learned so much from him. And I never really saw him as a Grammy winner or an ACM winner. I just have always seen him as one of my best friends, my musical brother. He won't let me call him my musical dad because he likes musical. But no, he's just amazing, and he tells me all the time because he's always hyping me up and making me feel more strong and be a better artist and a better person. And I'm so blessed to have him. He's so nice. Even though he teases me off camera or off the record, he's always teasing me.
Yeah, we enjoy him very much. So you and Billy met when you were doing a show in Branson called the Toy Shoppe. But again, you were in Florida. So how did you end up in Branson, Missouri?
Well, actually, Kenny Rogers saw me on America's Got Talent, or his crew did, whatever, his work people, and they called me up, and I moved to Missouri for 4 months when I was in 6th grade, and I got to go up there and do the show. And when Billy first walked in, I was like, this guy is going to be a jerk because he was wearing sunglasses when he walked in. I just thought he was all that. But then we started sitting down, and we started talking about music, and he completely understood me. And it was the most amazing, it was just we clicked. And it was the coolest show ever, too. It was a Broadway show, and then they took it off Broadway and turned it into a musical at Branson, which I love Branson. I could move there if it wasn't so cold. I like Florida weather a lot better.
Now, just because I didn't see it, is the Toy Shoppe about one of his Christmas songs?
Well, actually, it's like a story. So the part I played was this angel, and Billy was, I cannot remember his name, but he was the main character, and that was Kenny Rogers' spot at first, but then he gave it to Billy, obviously. And it was just about a Christmas like shop, a toy shop. And there was all these songs that were written by, I think, Kenny Rogers, and he sang them before. But it was just a cute story about a toy shop that was going to get shut down. And I was just his co-star. And I basically, like, sang and convinced, like, the guy that was going to take away the shop into keeping the shop because I was his granddaughter that, like, died or whatever.
Okay.
But it was the coolest thing. It was the coolest play I've ever been a part of.
All right.
Had you done theater or performing like a play or musical in front of a live audience before?
Yes.
Oh, you
yeah,
had?
like, because I love just singing country music, but I also love to act and, like, be on stage and do, like, live performances because it, like, gives you a rush almost. And, like, all my life I've done, like, school plays and stuff, and I did, like, this Bound for Broadway things. But that was, like, the biggest thing I ever did. And then I got to meet Billy through it, too, so it really worked out.
And what are some things that Billy Dean has taught you and that you've learned from him that pop right into mind, like, oh, yeah, I can attribute this to him?
Man, it's such a long list, but most important things, like the three basic things is he's taught me to be a better songwriter, how to be a better singer, like by warming up and stuff. He shows me all the stuff he does. And then also performing and being a good entertainer. He's also taught me all that thing. But he's really taught me the most important thing I'll take away from everything by meeting Billy and learning from him is he always told me to chase after the art. Don't chase after the money or the fame or anything like that. And that always pops into my head when people ask me this question because I have learned that I need to become a good artist and be authentic and real and not be fake like some people can be, you know, when it comes to music. And he just really taught me how to be a better artist and to really be who I am.
Now, we saw Billy playing guitar for your audition on American Idol earlier this year. Tell us why you decided to audition for this show and what was the audition experience like?
Well, so I got a call from them, too, to do a private audition, and I made it through, so I got to go to Kentucky. And I wanted Billy to be there with me because that's the kind of thing I want to experience with him, you know. And American Idol was so much different than America's Got Talent. I thought, okay, I'll know what I'm doing. I've done it before. But I was so rusty because it's been so long since I was on TV. But it was awesome. I've always loved American Idol, so I knew it was something that I wanted to do. And I know Carrie Underwood did it and Kelly Clarkson, and they inspired me. And then Billy also was telling me it's something we should do. And so, yeah, that's how the decision came upon us.
So we want a little behind-the-scenes scoop. Because of Billy Dean, did you have any FaceTime with the judges after the taping was done?
Well, yeah. Okay, so you have to be quick in there because they have so many people auditioning. And so right after I got the golden ticket, they started singing together, and the cameras record at all time just to see what they can put on TV. But there was stuff they didn't put in. Like I got to talk to Lionel Richie and Luke Bryan and Katy Perry, and they were all so nice to me. And then they were talking to Billy. It was the coolest thing. We didn't get to talk long because there's so many people waiting to audition in front of them. But the time I had, I'll remember forever because they just said some things to me that I'll never forget. Have you seen Katy Perry on tour at all? No, I never have. I always have been just into country music, but over the past couple years, I've really gotten into different things. Of course, rap music. I'm a teenager, and then pop music and stuff that Katy Perry does. And I really like her, especially being off of the show, after it got out and stuff, and I've been on it, you know. I really started to like her more, and I've been listening to more of her music, but I've never gotten to see her on tour. I'm telling you, that is a concert. A lot of artists charge a lot of money for music, and then they just kind of stand around and play. This woman entertains. That is a show to go and experience. I don't know if you've been watching, but they have, the craziest outfits. She wears, the craziest things, but it is awesome. I admire her courage and everything that she does because she's definitely an entertainer. For sure.
So when you walk into this audition room and you see these amazingly talented artists, are you even a little starstruck at Lionel and Katie and Luke?
Yes. Okay, so usually I don't get, because I always get embarrassed. I'm don't crowd them, let them, every time I go to see Mayfest, my mom will be look, there's Chris Young or something, and she'll want to take a picture with him, and I'm no, I don't want to, because I never wanted to be over with, you know what I mean? I don't like to be annoying to famous people or whatever. But when I walked in there, I was completely starstruck because after seeing them on TV for so long and then actually looking at them, they looked so beautiful. They looked perfect. And it was honestly the coolest thing. Now, while singing as part of that group round, Katy Perry made a comment that you weren't American Idol material. And when you saw that, you had to be a little surprised. Yeah, I mean, I just think this wasn't my year because of course, like, the most amazing talent will come on the season that I auditioned for. Like, this year, they were amazing, and I have the worst luck because, like, I'll watch American Idol before, and I'll be like, wow, they're not even the best. Like, I should go on there. And then I go on, and everybody else is, like, Celine Dion type style. And I don't know. It was a hard competition. And the way they edit the show, too, I don't think that was actually said about me. So it just depends. I mean, I wouldn't know. But because also Luke Bryan told me I was going home, but really it was Katy Perry. So they, like, edit things all around a lot, too. But hopefully I can audition again next year. I'm thinking about it.
I have to bring this up because it made me laugh when I saw it on TV, but you were kind of doing, a very classy cry. And then you're like, oh, my boogers are coming out. Did you expect them to leave that in, or were you hoping after you said it that it would get cut?
Well, honestly, I don't care. Like, even though I'm not as tomboy anymore, I really don't care, like, what I say. I really don't have much of a filter in my head, but I was sad, and I didn't know. That was the only thing that came to my mind, because it's true. Like, especially me, I've had 2 sinus surgeries, so I have a lot of snot in my nose when I cry, and I was crying so hard because I was so upset, and some snot and boogers came out, and so I was like, can I have a tissue?
Exactly, yeah.
But it wasn't a big deal to me. It was fine. I thought it was funny.
Look, it was, and it broke up the seriousness of the moment and really did humanize you as, this is something that you're going through.
I usually try to joke around something when I'm sad, so I don't think about it.
So what takeaways from Idol do you have now that the experience has been in your past for a little while?
I learned a lot from American Idol. I mean, I really did. Like, I didn't expect, like, it to be all so different, but it was so much different than America's Got Talent, and I thought it was so cool, and I would love to go back and do it, but I learned so much. I learned that I have to do more of my vocals, pretty much, and better song choice and stuff. I just wasn't prepared, but next time I will be.
What are some of the behind-the-scenes stories from your time on Idol that might surprise fans of the show or even surprise you having been a part of it? Is there anything that comes to mind?
Well, the first audition was in Kentucky, the first TV judge audition, and we had to sit outside in the cold, and we were in Kentucky, and this was in, like, November, and it was, like, 30-something degrees, and all the contestants that were performing that day, we sat outside for, like, 2 hours because they were still setting up the room to make it all pretty for the other contestants and for TV and stuff. But another thing that happened was group round. We were practicing, and we were up all night long practicing. Like, we just got done doing our lines of 10, and then we had group round, and I actually punched one of my group members in the face by accident because we were doing, like, our little dance, and I swing around and I hit her in the face, and it was not the best thing. And also, the producers are the coolest people ever. They just have cameras follow you around all the time, and they'll, like, tell you, like, maybe you should do this, and then we'll just do that.
Okay.
But it's really fun.
Between America's Got Talent and American Idol, what has been the reaction of your peers at school? Because Billy alluded to us that it hasn't always been supportive and that you were experiencing some bullying due to your wanting to be a singer.
Yes, ma'am. Well, America's Got Talent, I was only in 5th grade when that happened. And when I got back, I thought it was, like, the coolest thing ever, and everybody else would think it's, like, the coolest thing ever. But, yeah, there was some negative feedback after that. And I had, like, a hate page on Instagram about me and stuff like that. But I knew it was going to come. And, of course, there was bad comments about me. And, like, my friends that I thought were my friends weren't at the time. But American Idol was a lot different for me, especially since I'm older. Like, lots of things have changed about me, and I'm definitely a lot stronger. That's some reason why I'm so close with Billy, is because he helped me through all that stuff. And it's just like I'm a stronger person because of what happened. The
second song you ever wrote was called Hurt People. So tell us what some of those events were that led up to you writing that song.
A lot of things happened in the time that I wrote that song. There was a church shooting and a school shooting, and bullying was going around, like, everywhere I turned. Like, it was all anyone could talk about. And I was talking with Billy, and I was like, well, hurt people will hurt other people. And so that's where I came up with the song. And it was like the second song I ever wrote. And it was really deep for me because I was young, but I understood it because I've been through it. And I knew, and you never notice it until it happens to you, and you look around and you see it. But usually if someone's hurt, that's when they'll hurt you. And you just have to be nice no matter what. That's something I've learned, to just be kind to everyone.
We've talked a lot about bullying on our show. And how did you deal with being treated badly for just being yourself? And what is the most helpful thing to tell people to get past those haters?
It's so hard. Like, I still go through it all the time. I'm in 11th grade in high school, and I'll be graduating next year, and I cannot wait, honestly, because life is hard. School is hard, especially being a teenager and me being a girl and me being in front of the public like I have been, you know. But yeah. I got through it with surrounding myself with positive people and people that cared about me. And honestly, like, it's better not to go through it alone, because I tried to keep it to myself and tried to just do it on my own. But really, I needed my friends and I needed my family and I needed people that cared about me to go through it with me. And it really helped me. It really got me through everything.
Chloe, on Fancounters, we always ask our guests about their experiences with their fans. A lot of times we get a lot of weird and wild stories about things that they've done with, people coming up to them and that kind of thing. Do any stories come to mind about experiences you've had with your fans?
Yes. Well, actually, this one time I was on stage, and this was right after America's Got Talent, and I had, like, merchandise, and I was throwing them off of the stage. Like, I had water bottles and, like, T-shirts and stuff like that. And I had this girl that comes to every show that I've ever done, and she was in the front row. And I went to go throw my water bottle, and it slipped out of my hand, and it was like a fastball right at her mom's face.
Oh.
And I'll never forget. And it was really embarrassing, but it was funny afterwards. But I felt really bad.
So it hit her in the face?
That was the worst thing that's ever happened to me with a fan.
Oh, my gosh. So it hit the mom in the face, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but she was fine. Like, I didn't break her nose or anything. Like, she laughed about it. So it's all good.
Now, have you received any weird things from fans?
Like gifts?
Well,
like
I've gotten I get like lots of jewelry and stuff, and I've received like a lot of gifts, more like things people make for me, you know. None of them have really been weird. I did have someone like carve out my like face in like a sheet of paper and like write all this stuff on it and try to draw me, and it didn't really look like me, but I was happy even to get it. I thought it was so cute.
Okay, now I ask this of almost everybody. Do you get like homemade like food gifts?
Actually, I've never gotten food, which would be actually really cool if they did give me some food. But usually I just get like, I've had people draw pictures of me before and stuff, which I think is actually really cool because they're really good at it. So it's like I have like self-portraits around me around my house.
Because I always ask people like, would you eat that? I mean, I don't know in this day and age, if somebody made me, like brownies or Rice Krispie Squares, that I would eat them.
Well, if you didn't know them.
Yeah, I'd be worried that there's something in there, you know?
I mean, because we on Fancounters, we get a lot of stories of of people that say, I got this bag of cookies, I got this so-and-so. And there are some, who was the one, didn't somebody get like a ton of like takeout, like In-N-Out burgers or something?
A band. That put on their Instagram or something, we're hungry, we want Chick-fil-A or whatever it was. And somebody brought it to them.
Yes.
I'm like,
and they ate it.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know if I'd eat that.
We're not sure we would have eaten that.
If it's like Chick-fil-A, I would definitely eat it because I get hungry, So I would definitely eat it. But if it was like homemade, like people I know, like that have been fans for a while, I might. But if it's like somebody random, then I probably wouldn't eat it. I don't think my mom would let me eat it.
Yeah. It just seems
weird.
Be
on the safe side. But, I'll never know until it's actually if I'm hungry or not. So we'll see.
Well, and I'll tell you this, a lot of like the teen stars when I was a kid got a lot of stuffed animals. Do you get any of those?
Yes, I get a lot of stuffed animals. Like, I have a lot of them in my closet because people would just give them to me. Because I guess because I'm a girl too, like, I mean, and I don't mind them at all. Like, that's what I get for Valentine's Day from like my parents, And so I get a lot of those. Like, you'd be surprised. I never thought that I would get anything like that, but I get lots of those, and I get posters and stuff like that.
Okay.
So.
Did you just transfer into a car?
I sure did.
Oh,
but I'm talking on speakerphone.
Oh, you're much less clear.
I just got out of school, so that's why.
Aw, okay, no problem.
Oh, that was the noise behind you. We couldn't figure out what was going on, and it must have been you walking through a hallway.
There were so many things happening. I was in my 6th period, and I walked into a closet because I told them I had to do an interview. Then they started the printer up, and I was like, "Can you please be quiet? Like, this is important." They're like,
"Oh, that's hilarious."
Okay.
That's okay.
And then there's people talking and being so much louder than they're never that loud. They just did that because I was on the phone.
That's okay.
I thought your brothers were playing football or something.
It was just cute. We're like, what is that noise? It's fine.
I made sure to tell, because I usually say bye to my boyfriend after 6th period, but I told him bye before because I told him I'm not going to be able to talk to him after.
All right, carry on.
All right, a little over a year ago, you released an EP called Walls. It featured 5 songs. Did you write all of those songs?
Yes, I did. I co-wrote with a lot of artists, too, from Nashville with those songs, but all of them were my ideas. It was the coolest thing, too, to release actual music that I wrote.
Okay, what song or songs are your favorite from that release?
Each of the songs are about a specific person.
Oh, man, you're a Taylor Swift? Like a Taylor Swift-esque writing?
Yeah, pretty much. So, of course, Walls is going to be one of my favorites because that's, like, all around school, that's everybody's favorite. They played it at a pep rally at school. And I'm the kind of person, I get so embarrassed because I just don't like to, like, sing when it comes to school, you know, because I like to keep it separated because of the past things that have happened with me. So, but everyone actually liked it, so it's a big favorite of mine, and I wrote it about my boyfriend, so I like that one. And I also love He Don't Know What's Going On because that's the most true song I've ever written in my life because guys never know what's going on. So
Hey.
I agree.
like that one. Well, boys, once they hit 25, they're good.
Okay.
But before that, you got to wait.
Yeah, you do.
A couple weeks ago, you released another video, this time for a new song called Crazy Out of My Mind. Tell me about that.
I thought that's probably my favorite song that I've ever wrote,
Wow.
because it took probably, it didn't even take that long to write. Like, it was just like it clicked in my mind, you know? So Billy and I sat down and I was telling him my idea because I grew up listening to these Patsy Cline songs and like the classic country, and my favorite line from a song ever was her chorus to Crazy. She's like, I'm crazy for trying, I'm crazy for crying, and I'm crazy for loving you. And I was like, I feel that same way, you know, like a lot of people do. And so I just decided to make it a more modern, more bluesy, soulful, like kind of Chris Stapleton type song.
Okay.
And because I had someone call me crazy, so I wrote that about that, and it's like been my favorite ever since.
Okay, so we can't wait to see you on tour following American Idol. So do you have any upcoming shows you can tell us about, or what plans do you have for the summer?
I'm actually going to be singing May 10th at this show called Bands on the Blackwater, and it's in Blackwater in Milton, Florida, and I do that show every year. It's one of my favorites. There's always a big crowd out there, and they're so energetic. And then also Bands on the Beach, which I don't know the date for that one yet, and I'm just excited about that. I've done that since I was 6, so it's like my hometown shows that I always get to do, and they're at the beach, and it's amazing. But what I'm doing a lot is I'm taking a step back from doing lots of shows because I'm going to be writing, because I'm moving to Nashville as soon as I graduate, so I have a year to get prepared and ready. So I've been playing more guitar, writing more songs. I'm going to be recording songs and putting another EP out, and I'm so excited because social media and iTunes and Spotify and Pandora and all these things are where it's where it's at now, you know, like the radio and all that kind of stuff. I just need to be writing music and preparing for my life in the future. So that's what my plan is this summer, and I'm also going to be doing some shows with Billy soon, so I'm excited about that.
That's what I was going to ask. Are you going on any shows with Billy this summer?
I think I am. He's always so, it's hard to explain him, right? Because he's got a mind that's going a million miles per hour. That's how most musicians are. So I always have to get him. I'm like, you need to focus. What are we doing this summer?
Wow.
Know? But we don't know the exact dates for a lot of stuff yet, but I'll be singing with him a lot, and I'll try to put it out on my social media when I can, but I'm not 100% sure exactly what's happening because he doesn't get it across all the time because that's just how he is.
So you go to regular school. You're not homeschooled. So tell us what some of your favorite subjects are.
I am not the biggest fan of school. I've never been. I've always been like I'd rather just like go to the beach or something. But my favorite subjects are probably going to be like history and English. And this year I'm in like economics and government, and I love that kind of stuff. I've always been into history and like the past and like how the world works and stuff like that and why it does. And I love English because I love to write, so it just is easy for me. But I hate math. I'm terrible at math, and supposedly I got to get good at it if I'm going to be taking care of my money. So
you just have to take
something
accounting.
I'm trying to get better at, but I do not like it. Just
do accounting and you'll be fine. Because, you know, all those people that tell you have to have all this math in life, you don't. No. You know why? Because I've taken Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2. I've already taken all of it. So I'm done with math right now. But let me tell you how I have a 13-year-old son. This is how math is done at our house. Hey, Google, what's the blank, 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 blank times blank, 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 blank? That's how math is done in our house. I mean, either it's a calculator or Google is doing it. And so I keep telling him, honey, you just really need to know how to do money and be able to make measurements to make food. And other than that, you'll
Yeah, I'm in a finance class right now, actually. So
yeah, that's
it's
a good
working
one.
out pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm figuring it out as I go.
There you go. So you had prom already? That seems early.
No, it's prom time now.
No, but she had prom in April,
Yeah,
right?
April and May. Yeah.
Yeah, we had ours April 6th, but a lot of people have had theirs this past weekend, but we had ours early this year. It changes every year. It's weird.
Well, I want everyone listening to go on Twitter to your Twitter channel, which is Channell Chloe, and they can see the outfit that your boyfriend wore to the prom. It's a 4-leaf clover suit, and I kind of feel like he must have lost a bet along the way. What happened with that?
So his birthday is March 17th, which is St. Patty's Day. And we just got done selling his birthday, and he was looking online for a suit because a lot of the seniors will do crazy suits. Like his best friend, Brandon Spro, he did a flamingo suit. So this was the first year I've ever had to actually match to my date. Usually I'll get my dress first. But it was his senior prom, so I let him get whatever suit he wanted. I didn't put my input in, but I actually loved it because it's totally him. He's really goofy, but he didn't lose a bet. It was his choice. He's just weird like that. But I had to match to him, so I ended up wearing white. But that was literally the only thing that would match. But he got his suit for only $40, so it worked out really good.
Well,
he's very eye-catching.
Well, and I have an Irish dancing daughter, and we spend all of St. Patrick's Day weekend dancing. And I can't tell you how many men are in full 4-leaf clover or leprechaun suits. And I'm sure they all get them off of Amazon, and I think they're $40 or $50. But he can get a lot of life out of that thing every St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, and exactly. And since it's his birthday, he already told me he's going to wear it for every single birthday. So I have that to look forward to.
Wow, that's a loud outfit. I just showed Elizabeth. Yep.
Yeah, but
throw out of it, but we'll see.
Yeah, those are the suits that I see on St. Patrick's Day when we go from bar to bar to bar.
Yeah, they go all out for that kind of stuff.
So I asked you about your career plans for the summer. What do you want to do this summer for fun?
I'm a total beach girl. I love going to the beach. So when I'm not doing music or doing whatever I need to be doing, then I'll probably be at the beach with my friends. I love the sun. I mean, I'm your basic Florida person. All I love to do is swim and tan and all that kind of stuff.
When you're relaxing and chilling, Netflix and chill, we're curious about what our guests are watching and streaming. So if we looked at your DVR right now or your Netflix history, what are you watching?
This is a pretty old show, but it's still going, and I have rewatched it 10 times. All of the seasons, every single episode I have rewatched. And that's Grey's Anatomy, because I am absolutely in love with that show. And I just rewatch it all the time, and I'm rewatching it again, and it gets me every single time. I'll cry about it. But that's probably one of the main ones. And I also watch a little bit of Family Guy, but that's just because I love dumb humor, and I'm very easily entertained. So, and my brother showed me that, and he's 23, so. But I don't know. I switch off. I'll start a show I started Vampire Diaries, but I couldn't get into it, so I don't know. I pretty much watch the same shows all over again.
I expected you to say Riverdale. You don't get into that?
No, I don't. I'm not into it, which is everybody always is surprised. They are watch Riverdale, but I just can't.
Every guest says Riverdale.
But I do love scary movies and scary TV shows, so I watch Supernatural and American Horror Stories. I love that kind of stuff. I'm really into weird scary stuff.
That's Nick. I don't like any of that.
Yeah, she won't do any of it.
Nope.
No, all the movies The Conjuring, they put The Conjuring on Netflix, and I've watched it 5 times. I just love it.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new Pet Sematary that's in theaters now?
No, I was going to go watch it, but Logan, my boyfriend, wanted to watch Shazam instead, so we ended up watching some superhero movie, but
I highly recommend it.
I wanted to go see it.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Way better than the original.
And also La Llorona or whatever, I don't know how to say it.
Oh yeah, the Curse of whatever.
That one looks so scary, but I want to go see it.
Yeah. I'll be seeing it. Elizabeth will not, but that's okay.
I will not be seeing that. So, what is one question that you've never been asked, but you wish someone would ask you?
That is a tough one. Something I've never been asked for. Well, I've never really been asked if I have any special talent, like little things I can do for talents,
Yep.
Nobody's ever asked me what I do besides singing, little talents I have. And I actually have a couple that I do.
Well, tell
I know
us.
How to knit. I know how to knit.
I learned how to do that when I was in Missouri because it was cold, so I knitted scarves and hats and stuff, which seems so lame, and nobody knows that, but I know how to knit, so I thought that was pretty cool. I play golf. I'm actually pretty good. Like, I'm okay at it. I can cross my eyes and make one look at one while the other one's looking straight. I just learned how to do that not too long ago. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. But just little stuff like that. Like, nobody ever asked about weird talents. So.
What else do you have coming up? Is there anything else you wanted to mention that we didn't find?
No, I think we covered everything.
Awesome. Well, then you got to tell us, where can we find you on social media?
Well, I'm on everything. Instagram is just Chloe Channell, but my last name is 2 N's and 2 L's. Not like the perfume. There's 2 N's and 2 L's. And it's Chloe Channell _ on Instagram. Facebook, you can just type in Chloe Channell, and it'll come up. And Twitter is Channell Chloe. And I have a Snapchat, which is Channell Chloe, which I'm going to make public so I can post things on it. And then, of course, my YouTube, just type in Chloe Channell. The first thing that'll pop up is my American Idol audition, and you can just subscribe to my channel. And then just iTunes and Spotify. I have music on everything, so you can go be a fan of mine if you want. So just everywhere. You just search my name. It'll come up.
Awesome.
Excellent. You're a very busy kid. We appreciate you taking time to chat with us. And
of course. Thank you so much for letting me come on and talk.
Oh, we're thrilled.
Bye, guys.
Our thanks to Chloe Channell for joining us on the program today. She's got a bright future ahead of her.
She's a little cutie.
She reminded me a lot of Carrie Underwood, though. Like from her America's Got Talent audition 5 years ago to even when she sang on Idol. I just couldn't believe they kicked her off so early in the show because her talent is so deep and she's got good backing.
Yeah.
So I guess let somebody else win without the backing because, you know, with Billie Dean by her side, she is sure to make a splash when she gets to Nashville in a year.
I hope so.
All right, you can follow us at Fancounters Live on Twitter. We're also at Sharpie Nation on Facebook, and you can also email us
at hello@fancounters.com.
We'd love for you to share the show with your friends, so if you liked what you heard, pass it along. Tag us. You can also mention us on Twitter. We'll retweet you and comment back and all that fun stuff. And Elizabeth doesn't know anything about
I have no idea what he's
how to
talking
do
about.
that, but I'll make sure it happens. So that's all for us. We've got another great guest again next week, and we hope to see you then.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
This was a podcast from the PodFix Network. You can check out more shows like it at podfixnetwork.com.